but I'm gonna go one step further and I'm gonna make this into Greek yogurt. I made yogurt right before we went to bed last night, so let's check on it. What are you doing? Good morning. Morning. What are you being sneaky about? So my method of making homemade yogurt is getting my raw milk from our Jersey cow. I get it and I put it in a pot and put it on the stove and you heat it up. And this looks so good. Once it gets down to 110, you're going to put in your yogurt starter, and our yogurt starter is yogurt. But once you make your first batch of yogurt, you can just set aside some of this yogurt to then make your next batch, and you have endless yogurt. So it will sit all night, so about 12 hours, and then you can tell when it's done. I left my cream in there. I didn't want to scrape that off the top. That's what makes it creamy and delicious. Nice and thick yogurt. So you see I have my pot wrapped in towels. So I'll wrap my pot all around. It's gonna keep it incubated and warm because you wanna kind of keep it at that temperature. Now that you see that our yogurt is formed, we're gonna get this, put it in some cheesecloth, and we're gonna let it drain. Now you can eat it just like this, it's ready to go. This is just plain non-flavored yogurt, obviously. But I'm gonna go one step further and I'm gonna make this into Greek yogurt. So we are going to put this in some cheesecloth, let it hang, and we're gonna let all the way drain out of that yogurt. And it's gonna make some thick Greek yogurt. So good. Making your own yogurt at home is gonna be one of the easiest things that you can do. As you heard, there's only 2 ingredients needed, and that is milk and a yogurt starter. Now, there are different variations when it comes to making yogurt. We are very blessed to have a dairy cow, so we collect our raw milk from her and we utilize it to make our yogurt and other dairy products. So when you're working with raw milk, you do not want to heat it above 110 degrees. Heating up your raw milk above 110 degrees is actually going to kill off all the good bacteria, therefore taking away a lot of the nutritional benefits that raw milk can give you. But we can also save that conversation for another video. Now, another option that is probably more readily available for everyone else is to use pasteurized store-bought whole milk. You are going to want to heat this milk up to 180 degrees. Now, I'm not here to say that you cannot heat your raw milk up to 180 degrees. Heating it up that high will make it a lot thicker in result, but just know that you're losing a lot of the benefits of raw milk. Regardless of what milk that you end up utilizing, it has to come down to 110 degrees. Having it at that 110 degree mark is what allows you to add your yogurt starter. If for whatever reason your milk is hotter than that, you will kill your live cultures that's in your yogurt starter, and therefore you will not have yogurt. Just like with our milk, there are different variations that you can use for your yogurt starter. As I said, you need yogurt to make yogurt. You can even find yogurt starters available online. Amazon has plenty of starters to choose from. It's basically a dehydrated yogurt, so it's really just your preference. As long as it has live cultures, it should work. This is a store-bought yogurt, and I like to have just plain Greek yogurt. So you're gonna wanna check that back label and make sure that it says live and active cultures. All right, at this point, our yogurt is done. It's ready for the next stage. So we're gonna get us a big old bowl and get it all in there. So as you can see, I end up with quite a bit of yogurt when I make a batch. I've got hanging bags of yogurt all around my kitchen. Hanging up your yogurt like this allows all the whey to come out of your yogurt, with an end result being a nice, super thick Greek yogurt. I let mine hang up like this for about 2 hours. You really don't need much more time than that to get all the whey out. You also want to keep an eye on that time because you don't want it hanging too long, because it still is food and you just don't want it sitting out, because then you start to introduce other bad bacteria. You can also do this step by putting your cheesecloth in a strainer and letting it hang over the bowl, and then placing it into the refrigerator. Personally, I've had the best results by hanging it by my cabinets like this, but I also keep my house on the cooler side, so that also makes a difference. It almost resembles cheese with how thick it ends up being. All right, if I had to pick one of my favorite kitchen gadgets, I guess I kind of have a lot, but one that I use pretty often is my immersion blender. Now, I use my immersion blender for things like soups, pasta sauces. It's a must-have if you're going to be doing yogurt like this, or if you're making your homemade mayonnaise. So our yogurt's at the point of being Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt means it's thick. You have very minimal whey in here. So now we just kind of need to cream it all together. Now at this point, you're gonna determine what texture you're really going for, and you can add your whey back in a tablespoon at a time if you do need it to be a little bit more on the creamier side. The yogurt that we use, that we eat for a snack or for breakfast, especially for my kids, we flavor it a little bit. I don't have measurements for any of this. I kind of just eyeball it, but I use some organic maple syrup, honey, some vanilla bean paste, and then I'll do like a couple squirts. This is, we use the Torani sugar-free coffee syrups in our coffee occasionally, so I'll put a couple pumps of this in here also. I have some set aside for some plain yogurt. One of these jars will be for my 10-month-old because he can't have honey yet, so he gets it plain, and then I add in like fruit and stuff when I actually serve it to him. This is gonna be for our pickle dip. It's delicious. All right, again, I just kind of eyeball it. This is definitely the most frequent way that we flavor our yogurt. The possibilities are literally endless. I think our favorite thing to do is flavor it based on the season. So we're almost ready to gear up and start flavoring it for the fall. Yogurt in general has just become a huge staple in our house. I definitely feel like having Clarabelle, our Jersey dairy cow, has made it that way. But it is so nice to have some extra raw yogurt on hand. It's a great probiotic, and we're all about feeding a healthy gut over here. Plus, it's a great boost of protein. So with that, I try to incorporate it in many different ways. So outside of eating it just as yogurt, I will use it in dips, salad dressings, on our sandwiches, adding it to our smoothies, anywhere I could throw it in or substitute it for a less beneficial ingredient. And when your kids love something that's healthy for them, you just kind of run with it. After you've done made your batch of yogurt, you are left with a ton of whey. Well, I guess you're left with a lot of whey if you make a lot of yogurt like I did. And we do not let things go to waste around here. There are many ways that you can utilize this whey, but we actually let somebody outside of the house benefit from ours. We will take this whey and we'll soak our pig's feed in it, or we'll just give it to them straight up. They absolutely love the whey, and it is super beneficial for them as it is for us. If you like to see how things are growing good on our homestead, be sure to check out our other videos after you click that subscribe button.